Hey everyone, I think I'm live. I don't go live, so this is kind of freaking me out. Like, I am totally good to go live if I have somebody with me, but as far as doing it alone, I have not had the courage to do so up until like right now. And as I was going over what I wanted to say and going to do one of my normal videos where I just get on and talk, I was like, oh my gosh, this is speaking to you. So you have to do it. Like, you can't get stuck. I usually don't realize that for a few days. So here I am live on Facebook, and I will post this to YouTube probably tomorrow. So yeah, just gonna take a deep breath. Like, I can even hear it in my voice. So crazy. My name is Susan Jensen Farmer, and I love astrology. Astrology is my favorite tool, and I'm going to get on and talk to you about something going on energetically in the sky today. My website is www.astrologyandsoul.com. I'm missing my counterpart. My counterpart, we usually speak for each other, so we need to figure some stuff out to get that going again. I am doing a class on the sun, moon, and rising starting the 27th of January. It's a 6-hour class, 2 hours every Wednesday night, I believe on Zoom, and it's really close to my soul destiny reading. It will kind of teach you some of the stuff that goes into that so that you can look at yourself and others' charts on a very basic level, like very, very basic. Astrology is so layered. I think that's pretty much all. That's what I'm giving a percentage off on right now. I think it's 20% off if you register before January 21st, and then it goes up to $100 after that. Yeah. So I want to get on to what I wanted to talk about today, like tomorrow morning, or it's not tomorrow morning, it's tomorrow afternoon as far as mountain time at 3:27 mountain time. Mars is going to move into the sign of Taurus. And that's actually it's a big deal. Mars is a planet that moves relatively quickly, usually. It usually stays within a sign approximately 7-ish weeks, but we have had Mars in Aries for the past 6 months, for July 2020 all the way till now. And so what's happening is it's at this 29th degree because we have 30 degrees in each sign. So right now we're at 29 degrees Aries, Mars. And Mars is going to move into Taurus tomorrow at 3:27. What we also have right now is the last quarter square as far as the moon cycle is going on. And so that's going to bring up some emotional unrest. And it's happening in the points that were exacerbated, if that's the word, hopefully. I always say words wrong, in 2020. So this is kind of taking us back a little bit. It's all coming together. I love astrology because it's so cool. It all comes together as Mars is moving into a new sign. Our emotions, who we are, our identity, who we want to be, is feeling a little unrest. And we're trying to decide with this energy what we want to fight for. That's a Mars quality. Because Mars is going to move into, like I said, the sign Taurus, and it's going to show us a lot of the main energies that we're going to be dealing with in 2021. Not so much Mars, but we have Jupiter, Saturn, and Uranus. If you don't know astrology verbiage, just let that go. No matters. What is also going on is as soon as Mars goes over into Taurus, it immediately speaks to Mercury, which is our mind. And that happens on the 8th. It's our perceptions, how we think, all these different things. So what's happening tonight and tomorrow is really getting clear on what you have learned and what you want to move to with this new energy. Aries, where Mars has been, is a cardinal sign. It initiates, it begins, it starts a plan. When you move into Taurus, that's pretty stuck. It stays where it is, which is, I mean, that's exactly why I went live. I have not had the courage to go live before. And I decided I didn't want to stay stuck in that energy. I don't know how it will go. Usually I have, Rob from Astrology by Rob with me, or someone else, usually him, with Astrology Club and Hump Day. And I was like, I just have to take the risk because that's what I've learned. I've learned I want to do this business. I want to take action on this business. This is where I am going to focus my attention. That's a Mars quality. So in the title where I say don't get stuck, really take some time tonight or tomorrow over the next few days deciding what you've looked back on in 2020 and value in Mars characteristics. So to me, Mars is about, I'm not just going to leave you with that. I'm not just going to say Mars and say bye. So to me, when I really go in and channel Mars, like I had a personal Mars experience last week, and it can be agitating. It can be fighting just to fight because you feel this tense agitation. In traditional astrology, they call it a malefic, which is not good. If I can hear Rob's voice in my head, bad. It's bad. What it does, it can be those things. But in Susan language, which is trucker language, so cover your kids' ears if they're around, it asks us what fucks we really care about. Like, what do you really, really care about? And where are you going to put your attention for that? And in what process are you going to take to get there? It's an experience. It brings us experiences to show us what we want to fight for, but also what we don't want to fight for. And so it asks us that question. Mars is the god of war. It will take you out and fight. An unhealthy Mars fights for fighting's sake. A healthy Mars stands back and is on the defense. And did I say defense? Whatever. It just stands back. It lets other people attack and will work with that. I also think, though, I'm going to say, as I was channeling Mars the other day, I really felt that a healthy Mars understands what it wants to fight for. And if you're really visualizing like a war or a battle, I visualized like hundreds of years ago what I would do, and I could see like, yes, this is something I want to fight for. So you jump on that horse and you take that flag and you run to battle because it is something you truly believe in. But what gets us there? It's a process. It's a flow. So usually a Mars process, pattern, whatever you want to call it, is you find yourself getting angry about something over a certain time frame. And it can be projection. Like, I know Mars isn't highly equated with being projection, but if you're feeling angsty and angry with yourself, you can attack someone else and make it about them. So the curious, awesome thing about anger to me is that it is your soul's number one first check mark to understanding and telling you, it is communicating with you on a soul level. I'm not okay with something anymore. Something has to change. So I'm mad. I always tell my clients, like, if you're going through a day or a couple of days and you felt angry just out of the blue for no reason, twice, and twice may be too many, that's a pattern. 3 is a confirmation. Like, you're angry about something. Go figure out what you're really angry about. Go take some time for yourself. Sit down wherever you feel safe, bathroom, bedroom, car, I don't know, alone, and ask yourself, like, what do I really want? What do I like? What am I really mad about? I'm not really that pissed off at the store clerk, you know. There's something else. There's got to be something else that I'm just frustrated about. Sometimes we're giving people power. Mars is about power. And if you're going to have your own power, if you're going to fight for what you want, if you're going to speak up for what you want, if you're going to follow just that hit, Mars is action and Aries is action, just like intuitive, go, bam, and speak up for yourself. So if you're not, you could be giving that power to someone else. You could be following someone else down a path that you don't want to do. And so you really need to ask your soul and tap into that. Really feel, is this a place I want to go? Am I projecting? What's this anger about? So what happens in this Mars pattern, you feel that anger, and then if you decide to, you get really deep and honest. Mars is honest. It just says there's a realness to it. It just says what's honest. You get honest with yourself about what the issue is. And then you decide, what's the good fight for me? Because if it is a good fight, if it is something you really want to do or really want to stand up for, you'll feel a peace about it. It won't be that angstiness anymore. If you don't act on it, you may have angstiness. Mars can be really angsty and energy. It wants to get rid of energy. It wants to be active. So if you don't act on it, it could feel that way. But as long as you're consistently moving, you will feel happy about the action and the fight you're moving towards. And if it's something that you decide you just don't want, Mars cuts. It just cuts it, and you're good. So it's about this bravery of really digging in and getting to know you. Oh, I just saw this comment. I'm so bad at the comments. Okay, Jana said, that's me. I'm an Aries and I speak up, but I've had to learn and teach myself to speak up in a way that doesn't give my power away. Absolutely. Like, that's so good. And I would say, like, you probably get a lot of those intuitive hits as well, where you just know stuff. Aries just knows and speaks truth. So she said she's an Aries, which has, like, Mars and Aries have similar vibrations, and Mars has been in Aries over the past 6 months. So I would imagine, Jenna, that you have gotten some lessons with that, which is super cool after the fact, but hard during, right? At least that's what I always say. I always feel, yay, I'm so glad. Because you learn that bravery. Like, you learn what you want to stick up for if you realize it. So like I said, the pattern, it's like getting angry, getting angsty, then really sitting down, feeling that feeling, being honest with yourself, deciding what it is that you truly want to fight for, and then it's surrendering to either outcome. And just understanding that the universe and synchronicities will show and guide you as you flow with that energy. So as you're taking whichever action you decided on, the cutting action or the I want to fight for this action, the synchronicities in the universe will show them to you. And right now is a really pivotal time to understand and know what you have, like the conclusions, what you've decided over the past 6 months as Mars moves into Taurus. Because like I said, Aries is this action, like we're going to start something, we're going to start a plan, we're going to initiate, we're going to begin a plan to learn. And once it moves into Taurus, it's way more stuck. It's hard to move. It's hard to really, it's fixed, like it doesn't want to move and it will stay there. And Taurus can be a lot about worth, self-worth, in like a very grounded way. And so if you're not clear yet exactly what you want to fight for or not, I mean, that's fine. It's going to come to you when it comes to you. But if it starts affecting your self-worth and you're fixed in that action and energy, then you've got a problem. Then I say you go back and you rethink, which is cool because Mars is having a conversation with Mercury on the 8th, which is going to set up some really strong energy over the next month because Mercury is going to go retrograde and Mars and Mercury come together really close. They talk in a square. It's called a square, so that's a frictious tension. It's like something you need to work out inside of you. And Mercury is going to be sitting right where the Great Conjunction was. So think back in December and see, like, has something come up? Has something resolved? Do I know where I want to go? What I want to fight for? Because over this next January, February, this energy is setting up a lot of conversations with power players. And it's also going to show us, give us really big clues of how the energy of 2021 is going to affect us personally. If you have strong energies or like a sun in a fixed sign, which is Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, or Aquarius, you're going to be affected. Last year was the cardinal signs, which are Aries, Cancer, Libra, and Capricorn. So those were really affected. If you have a moon somewhere, if you have a Mercury, like all that just depends. Your chart is going to depend. But the main energy is being handed from this starter initiation and moving to more, I'm going to stay how I feel, how I am, and not be all that movable. So it's a really good time to get clear, both emotionally and on a who I want to be level of how you want to use this energy. So that fits right in with why I went live, because I don't like going live without somebody else. I'm really bashful and I get super nervous. I don't get nervous when I'm with someone else. But I totally did. This is the first time I've ever been live. So Janice said, in the past, I was speaking up and giving my power away. I was speaking from raw emotions. Now I've learned to speak with logic, power, and passion. Does that make sense? I've really opened up my throat chakra. What I'm feeling from that, Jana, is that if you're in Aries, that's just a path that life's going to take you. You're going to be put, honesty is important to you. Individuating, being who you are on a very deep level of you, and changing from maybe other patterns you've seen from other people in your life. You're going to be learning lessons on that. So what I feel when I read that, when you say I was speaking from raw emotions, that was part of your soul path, those raw emotions. And then as you have grown into this security with yourself, I'm going to say, it kind of made those insides feel more peaceful because you're more at peace. So it's not as raw and scary and just boom, it just comes out because you have this inner peace. And I mean, I know you through different things personally. I mean, not really personally. I know you through Facebook, but from what I've seen on Facebook, I've really seen that transition in you. So to me, I'd say that's like a huge part of your soul journey, just being an Aries. I hope that makes sense. Okay, does anyone else have any questions or comments before I I go off. While I'm waiting, I'm just going to say, like, if you are confused or don't know what action you want to take, if you sit down and you're angry and you don't know, what I would say is start experimenting and taking action on it. Mars wants action. Okay, Mars just doesn't want to sit. Sometimes wherever your Mars is, it's harder for you to do that. So I can't speak to every Mars sign. But what it wants in Aries is action. Oh, hi, Shalise, my friend Shalise. Her comment was, just want you to know I love you. I love you too. Part of why I'm doing this is because of you. So, mwah. Yes. So, do like the energy right now, and I'm not going to go strongly into it because I'll do that with more videos, is if you're not quite sure, start experimenting. Start going into the lab and throwing this in and this in and this in, and if it explodes in your face, then yeah, probably not. Veer a little bit and do a different experiment. Experimenting in life is awesome. Lots of times people see it as like, oh, I failed or failure or whatever, but all those failures get you on your path that helps you feel good and whole inside, and that's the whole goal, right? Yes. So Jana says, it totally makes sense. You were spot on. I love you. Oh, that made me tear up. Happy tears. I'm glad. Glad that made you happy. So, okay, if anyone else has anything, Shalise says, that makes me so happy. Yes. Thank you. Yeah, whatever. Okay. I'm waiting just a sec, and then I'm just going to pop off here. Okay. Shalise says, yes, I love experimenting. Absolutely. And Shalise Stevens and I, we're going to be doing a lot of that coming up soon. So everyone stay tuned to some of my new experiments coming up. They're going to be really fun. So, okay. Love you guys. Have a great day. I will get clear on what you want. Get clear on those actions. Get clear what you're fighting for, what the good fight is. If you want to cut it, get rid of it. Love you all. Bye.